Hello, good evening. You're watching SkyNews.com, the only TV show with a web's agenda. In a moment, Now, another story heavily discussed online is the growing number of people falling ill on planes. According to the medical journal Lancet, it's to do with longer flights and more people with pre-existing medical conditions boarding planes. Well, joining us now is Dr. Richard Darwood, who's a travel health expert from the Fleet Street Clinic. Good evening. Is this about people getting on planes who know they're a bit ill but just think, oh, actually, it doesn't really matter, I'll just get on?
It's to do mainly with the fact that we are growing older as a population, that more and more people are travelling, that we're tending to go further afield, and that modern aircraft are capable of increasing journey times. So people with pre-existing conditions are finding themselves in situations where the stresses and the cabin conditions in flight are stretching just a little bit beyond their tolerance.
What's this? You've got something in your hand here. Can you just pass it over to me? I'll hold it for you.
Well, this is a pulse oximeter. It's now become very easy. One of the biggest challenges that people with, for example, lung disease and heart disease and even blood conditions like anemia face is coping with the reduction in oxygen pressure.
So what does this do? You put it on your finger,
so
do you?
You can get an instant readout. Yeah, you can do that. So you can.
Okay.
You can.
This is going to tell me I'm not good enough to fly.
It'll give you
put it on there while we're talking.
Pretty much an instant reading.
What's that said?
Well, it shows 99% oxygen saturation,
what does that mean?
which is
Bad?
that you're
Good?
very highly oxygenated, which is what you'd expect at sea level.
They pumped me up before the show.
but when you get up to cabin air pressures at 7,500 feet. What many people find is they're getting a mild dose of altitude sickness, a mild dose of acute mountain sickness, actually, with the hypoxia in the air. Now, that's fine for most healthy people. It's not very fine if you're suffering from chronic bronchitis or cardiac failure. And one of the things that comes out of the paper in the Lancet is that people need to be more careful about consulting their doctor before they fly, and checking if there are any reasons for them to take extra precautions, making sure they're fully stable before they take that long-haul flight.
You say it's you know, people getting older, but is it people getting more blasé about it as well? Because we're more experienced with flying now. We kind of know that it's boring, and you know we do it quite a lot. So are people going, well, actually, I've got a dodgy leg or a heart condition, but I'm still going to fly to New Zealand.
We take it as the norm, and people think that getting on a long-haul flight is the same as getting on a short flight. You know, if you can manage a European flight okay, then you must be okay to fly to New Zealand.
It's also a bit selfish as well. I mean, we've all been stuck on those long-haul flights with people coughing a lot. I mean, is there any truth in the fact that, you know, it goes up in the aircraft's, air system, and, you know, you're sitting down the back of the plane and catching a cold from somebody in first class?
Yeah, well, yes, there is a lot of in-flight transmission of disease. I think one thing that's also being increasingly recognised is the ability for long-haul flights to actually spread infection. And there was a very interesting statistic that comes out of the Lancet paper that shows that in 2001, when there was a crackdown, a big fall in the number of flights within the United States, the entire flu season in America was delayed by 13 days. So that reflects...
It does have an impact then. You give people travel jabs as well at your clinic, don't you?
We do travel vaccinations.
Do people turn up and not allow enough time now for going to sort of India or, you know, those kind of countries where they have to have those? Because a lot of jabs you have to sort of 10 days, 2 weeks before you fly, haven't you?
That's a particularly common problem. Of course,
So what do you say to people?
Well, we're very good at dealing with this at the last minute because that's what a lot of people end up doing.
But you're not protected, are you?
You can miss out on lots of things. The ideal time to come and seek advice before you travel is about 6 weeks before you go. Lots of people book at the last minute and they don't leave enough time. Some vaccine courses need at least 3 weeks for full protection. But it's a good idea to allow enough time to discuss all the other medical issues that might be important.
Yeah, so what's your advice to people then? You know, if you've got a pre-existing medical condition, should you contact the airline, or what do you say to people?
Well, initially contact your GP. If you're under a hospital consultant, discuss your travel plans with your hospital consultant. Go to a specialist travel clinic where they're familiar with some of the issues, not just the vaccine issues, but any issues around your medical condition. Allow enough time. Some people might need to consider supplementary oxygen during their flight. They might need to consider breaking their journey rather than going on a very long flight. The risk increases with the duration of the flight. Maybe break the journey, adjust your travel plans particularly, and allow enough time to get really into good shape before you go. Don't travel when you're unstable. And maybe if you've got a pre-existing medical condition, also tell your insurance company about it so that they don't spring on you the fact at the last minute that you might not be covered.
OK, good stuff. Thank you for your good advice. It looks like I'm safe to fly. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you.